Motion. Minority Whip.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, first of all, let me indicate that we are in the 16 days of activism on gender-based violence, whose theme is to orange the world. And Madam Speaker, I just want to indicate that we are very happy that when we are discussing this, both the speakers have been women, and I wanted to compliment you that both of you have been exceptionally smart today. Madam Speaker, because my time is short, I just want to say that I agree with the minority leader that the gender commission, majority leader, it means I've already taken over your job, but I want to say that, Madam Speaker, NGEC is not doing its work efficiently. Both him and I have at some point or the other served in the budget committee. It is because they are severely underfunded. So we cannot severely underfund them and expect them to do good work. Please fund them and they will do excellent work. Madam Speaker, because again of a short time, I'm hoping they will prioritize the issue of femicide. Too many of our girls are being killed and we need to look at it. Madam Speaker, I hope they will prioritize the issue of discrimination. I am told in Kiambu County, 25 women have been stopped from voting because they are nominated. It's unconstitutional, it is discriminatory, and it is unfortunate what one of the MCAs talked about, that the women, nominated women, which then includes me because I was also nominated, that the only thing we bring is between our legs. We bring that one as well, of course, but we also bring our heads. Because you cannot pretend we don't have things. Even you have things beneath your legs. Madam Speaker, I'd also want to indicate, no, you will not intimidate us with such issues. Madam Speaker, I'd also want to say,
Order, members.
Madam Speaker, they are trying to destroy.
Honorable Millie, it is a point of order from the majority leader. I will allow.
No, Honorable Speaker, I rise on a point of order because of the issue. You know, I'm from Kiambu County, and I am a very good supporter of women leaders. And I would not condone the kind of talk that I also heard from that particular MCA, who represents a ward in Kiambu constituency, Kiambu town constituency. However, there is we must also be careful not to admonish people based on social media propaganda, because we are all subjected to the same social media propaganda. The things that you see being said about those things about in between the legs, I have actually confirmed with nominated members of the County Assembly of Kiambu that that particular MCA never uttered those words. He may have, and he actually did speak to what Honorable Millie is alluding to, that nominated members of parliament and senators and MCAs vote on county matters, on just like senators don't vote on county bills, that nominated MCAs should not vote on ward-related bills and motions in the assembly, which is unconstitutional. But it is just the ignorance of an MCA, and I would ask the Honorable Mashua to take him through some tutelage, but just to correct the information that the derogatory things that are being reported on social media, I am told is propaganda, and I have confirmed that from women MCAs in Kiambu, because I had taken particular interest in protecting women in the Kiambu County Assembly, because we nominated women, most of them are nominated by UDA. And
that sounded more like a point of information, and I don't want us to make contributions through point of order. So I will give you Honorable Kaluma if it is a point of order. But if it's information, you wait for your chance to contribute.
Yes, because I want to contribute, Millie. Millie, no, not Millie. It's how we call lady judges. Millie, not my lady. But Honorable Speaker, Honorable Millie is on record as saying women, especially women in leadership, don't just bring between their legs, but their head also. Honorable Speaker, we hear what Honorable Millie is saying, and every Kenyan watching hears what this thing between the legs, Honorable Millie, is talking about. I don't think, Honorable Speaker, that is a parliamentary kind of language. It is sexualizing women, in my view, and it diminishes women when in fact our intent is to uphold the integrity of women and competence beyond matters of sex and gender. I wanted to request that we don't allow that on record, and we request Honorable Millie that beyond the comic relief that be withdrawn. I have my wife, I have my daughter, I have my mother. They are all alive.
You have made your point.
To be measured that way.
You have made your point. We shall not allow more. Honorable Millie, you have heard the members on point of order. Kindly.
And I hope to have my time. Madam Speaker, there are many serious issues raised in jest. And I want to say that it's a matter of fact that I am coming here with things beneath my leg. Let's not pretend. But you shall not use it against me, because I did not bring it here for any other purpose rather than the God-given, that it is annexed to me. Otherwise, I would have left it in the house. But you shall not use it, because I don't use it for purposes, any other purposes, than because it's annexed, Madam Speaker. But other than that, Madam Speaker, I just want to say that members have also raised the issue of ethnic representation in the commission. And I want to agree that what Honorable McCallum had said, and we've said it before in the House, that if we look at the commissions in totality, we might actually discover that there are areas that may be marginalized. So I agree, as a person who is concerned about equality and equity, and I'm speaking even when I know there are people from my region here, it does not exclude the fact that we must include the whole country. And I want to indicate, Madam Speaker, that I'm a very proud person today, even as a woman leader, that in this week, 2 of my mentees have gotten appointments even without my intervention, because I did excellent mentorship. One of them in the policing, Annette Mbogo, and the other one, Watila. In 1 week, Madam Speaker, it speaks to my good leadership. So if you are, I'm seeing the majority leader is saying broad-based, please, let us make sure we listen to Kenyans, deal with what Kenyans are saying. Otherwise, men are jumping all over declaring presidency. If you joke, Millie will declare presidency. But for now, I'm not declaring. And I wish you all excellent 16 days of activism on gender-based violence. Please protect, respect, and uphold women's rights. They are your mothers, they are your brothers, they are your sisters. I don't want to mention wives because you have peculiar relations with your wife. They are your side chicks, they are your girlfriends. Be nice to them. Thank you.
Member for
Governors named Senator Sifuna as among the top extortionists in the Senate. You saw him trying to box the governor for Samburu, because I think he had run away out of the Senate and refused to attend a committee where he wanted to go and extort. We must not allow some of these vilified characters to destroy the name of the institution of the Senate. Our Senate has very serious senators. And that is why I must commend governors who named the 4 senators they named as a chief extortionists. Top among those was Senator Sifuna. So he has no more authority to speak about John Buddy, a great professional. FCPA John Buddy, or a banker and an expert like Sam Atandi.
Some of us who are lawyers, we take offense when you call a fellow lawyer as an idiot.
And I must thank the leadership in the Senate, because they know the people to put in mediation are not senators like Senator Sifuna.
Mr. Speaker, I know it's very nice when we challenge Honorable Senator Sifuna. And the more we do it, the more you give him more profile. So if you want to give him more profile, continue mentioning his name. Mr. Speaker, I know because I always mention people favorably. People always wonder, some people tell me I sit on the fence, which I don't mind because I sit with my buttocks, I don't borrow anybody's. But having said that, Mr. Speaker, my kind of politics is that I play a politics of praising the person I want. So I'll praise myself, I'll praise my candidate, but I'm not really too much given to trying to underrate people, calling them, I don't know, they lack intelligence. So even if it is Sifuna who did that, I think it is wrong. I was actually went and asked the chairman what Sifuna said because I didn't hear. So if Sifuna did that, it is wrong. If Ichungwa is doing it, it is wrong. It is wrong for us to keep calling people names here. And especially when we are in a technological era when children are seeing this. In the past, I used to do that, but I've become born again, Mr. Speaker. I don't do such things anymore. We must remember that our young children are watching us, and we should stop calling people names. And especially, some of us who are lawyers, we take offense when you call a fellow lawyer as an idiot. I may be an idiot in economics, though I'm not overly an idiot. I got a principal pass in my A-levels in economics. But you probably may also be an idiot when it comes to matters of law. So let us be respectful of other members. Let us disagree politically. So let Sifuna support his one term, you support 2 term. Me, Millie, I'll support my candidate. In my own style and in my own way. I think a lot of us want us to say that if I say 1 term, that is when I'm not supporting the president. Or if I say 2 term, that's when I'm supporting the president. You are not the one who manufactures my mouth or my language on how I support. I support in the language, in the style, and the way I deem fit and I deem best. So I think what we want to do, sometimes we cause other people to move away from us by our styles. Let us do or encourage styles that, are more inclusive. Some of us, if I go to my constituency, I can tell you that I see evidence of growth. I can see evidence of work that the president is doing. But don't tell me to say 2 terms. You say that one if you want. I don't use your style. I can go and tell Suba North people that there is Rusinga Ring Road. You, if you are a psychopath and you want to do that, go and do it yourself. I will not do it. I'm Millie odhiambo Mabona, a.k.a. bad girl, a.k.a. Geza. You don't teach me how to do my politics.
It's a shame on them if they will use the floor of Senate to vilify a member of this House. We will equally use the floor of this Parliament to tell the world who they are. And that is why I took liberty also to tell the world who that disgraced senator for Nairobi is. He's an extortionist par excellence. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I rise to support this mediated version of the Division of Revenue Bill. And allow me to begin by thanking the members of the Mediation Committee, led by the 2 co-chairs, Chair Sam Atandi and Chair Governor Senator Roba, the senator for Mandera County. And I want to thank them for their leadership during that very difficult mediation process. And that's why I want to agree with the second of this motion and probably urge that we ignore some of these noisemakers. Because there are people who speak faster than their brains function. And I don't know if they even engage their brain before they speak. And that senator who was speaking that way is just looking at an opportunity to vilify other leaders in ODM because of his own shortcomings, not because of his commitment to devolution. It is not even because of his understanding of issues that touch on the finances of our country. But Governor and Senator Roba, former governor for Mandera, and an accomplished professional, together with Sam Atandi, who is an accomplished banker and a finance person, understand where we are as a country. Honorable Speaker, when we said here as we moved the estimates for the next financial year, and even as we did this division of revenue initially to give the figure of 420 billion, we said it was based or anchored on the current circumstances of where our economy is and the likely scenarios of what is going to happen. And I said it yesterday, Honorable Speaker, that if you look at the global economy, the way things are with the war in the Middle East, we must exercise what in financial accounting we call the principle of prudence in financial management. And prudence means that as you plan, because what you are doing now is planning. We don't have this money. We are planning. Budgeting is about planning. As you plan, you must exercise financial prudence and be cognizant of the issues that pertain in the world, that we are unlikely to achieve the revenue targets that we are planning for if the situation as it is persists, and we pray and hope for the best that that war will come to an end. Honorable Speaker, I say this because painstakingly, this mediation committee members had very long meetings. Those of you who are here know Sam Atandi was not seen in this house yesterday, the whole day. He was in meetings from morning up to the time I was leaving here at about 7 p.m. That's the time they were finishing the meeting. And that's when he briefed me and told me that they had agreed on the figure of 428 in consultation with the National Treasury, as any responsible group of leaders would do. And now we can guarantee our county governments that they will have 428 billion shillings as shareable revenue. And that is not all, because they also have other monies in the additional allocations, which we have. Top among them, the guarantee that we have now that 8.6 billion shillings will be going to our universal health care workers. Workers who are doing a splendid job right in our villages, in dispensaries, and even some, the CHPs, visiting patients in their homes. And Honorable Speaker, the only way to guarantee that that work, good work continues is supporting devolution. And therefore, those who say that Sam Atandi, because as chair, Sam Atandi does not work alone. He does not work alone, and he's not doing this alone. CS John Mbadi doesn't work alone in the National Treasury. He has made decisions in consultation with everybody that he works with in Treasury, professionals who have weighed the situation. I have sat with Sam Atandi and members of the Budget Committee for hours. This last weekend, there is no other work we did other than think through this process of division of revenue and even try to weigh where can we raise more money. What else can we cut to be able to get more money for our county governments? And the fact that we're able to get this additional 8 billion shillings is good for the country, is good for our county governments. And therefore, those who are saying that, oh, people don't support devolution, I don't know who is a letdown to the spirit of devolution. The greatest betrayer of the spirit of devolution is that person who uses an institution where you sit to extort governors. Because if you're extorting governors, those governors have nowhere to get money. Those governors must go and steal from their counties to be able to bring you money where you're extorting them in those committees. Honorable Speaker, you know these are things that are in the public domain. Governors named Senator Sifuna as among the top extortionists in the Senate. You saw him trying to box the governor for Samburu because I think he had run away out of the Senate and refused to attend a committee where he wanted to go and extort. We must not allow some of these vilified characters to destroy the name of the institution of the Senate. Our Senate has very serious senators. And that is why I must commend governors who named the 4 senators they named as the chief extortionists. Top among those was Senator Sifuna. So he has no more authority to speak about John Mbadi, a great professional. FCPA John Mbadi, or a banker and an expert like Sam Atandi. Because they are doing their work and doing it well. And Sam Atandi, I want to tell you together with CS Mbadi, do your work without fear or favor. What you have done is good for governors, is good for devolution. You have ensured, unlike what we were discussing last week, Because the options we had was to introduce a clause into this mediated version that if we have a shortfall in revenues in the next financial year, then we share that shortfall in revenues on pro rata basis. That would mean if you have a shortfall of 100 billion shillings, for instance, counties on pro rata basis would take a cut. Now counties have an assurance that irrespective of what happens, they will not have a reduction in their shareable revenue. They will not have a reduction in their additional county allocations. What better deal could there be? And I must thank the leadership in the Senate, because they know the people to put in mediation are not senators like Senator Sifuna. Because they will take the extortion also to the mediated mediation committees. I must thank my counterpart, leader Senator Aaron Cheruyot, and the leader of minority, leader Madzayo, because they also know what kind of senators they can send to serious business. These other people, they can be sent to funerals, to rallies, to stand on top of cars with flags. They can do that they are allowed. But I told them the other day, you know, some of these things are just quick fires. Quick fires that burn very quickly for a short time, then get diminished with time, because Kenyans can see through you. Kenyans know when you are an extortionist. When you speak loudest against corruption, yet you are the chief extortionist in the Senate. When you speak loudest about accountability and transparency, yet you cannot show the people of Nairobi anything you have done for the time you have served them as their leader or their senator, or anything that you have pushed for in your life as a leader. Let me say, shame on them if they will use the floor of Senate to vilify a member of this House. We will equally use the floor of this Parliament to tell the world who they are. And that is why I took liberty also to tell the world who that disgraced senator for Nairobi is. He's an extortionist by excellence. Honorable Speaker, forgive me for getting there. But this mediated version is the best that we could. In fact, the day before yesterday, we were at 425. We have had to take cuts in areas that will be painful to other people, but all in the support for devolution. I know in the 10-point agenda, Honorable Speaker, we committed to moving the shareable revenue to 450 billion, and we shall get there. Let me say we shall get there. We shall get there. The temporary setbacks that we have today because of the issues that are there globally will not persist for long. And that's why I said we continue to pray for peace. We pray that the situation will improve. And I foresee in the near future the 454 billion that the Senate had desired. And I know the Council of Governors, because we've also extensively engaged with the Council of Governors on this subject. We will get to a point where we will even get above this 454 billion. All we need is to grow our economy. And as we grow our economy, we must be very prudent in how we apply the resources that we have available for us now and in the future, Honorable Speaker. And that is why I want to urge the House that we support this mediated version. Tomorrow, we are due to listen to the revenue-raising measure statement from CS John Buddy. And I know even in the difficult situation that he sits in, he's preparing. And I know because, Honorable Speaker, we need to prepare this chamber for that work tomorrow. Let me end there so that we give a few more people an opportunity to speak to this mediated version. But I want to urge you, let us all support this mediated version. And as our colleagues in the Senate have done, the well-meaning senators understand, and they have supported this mediated version. And our good governors support it because they're also aware of the situation as it is, Honorable Speaker. Because any further reductions would have meant we eat into our money for education or our money for universal health coverage under the primary health care fund. And all these monies are going to serve the people that we serve as members of parliament, the same people who are served by the senators and governors as the people of Kenya, the people who have sent us to represent them here. I support.
The Honorable Millie, you are on record. Do you want to speak to this?
Yes, yes.
Proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I stand to support the mediated version, and in saying so, I want to thank the committee members. I know it was not an easy task, and I want to thank the chairman of budget. They've done an excellent job. In the circumstances, people may sometimes not understand, even when you are committed to devolution. Mr. Speaker, people may not understand that even with the aspirations that even Baba Raila Amolo Odinga had, but with the challenges that we are facing, very few people don't know that the country and even the world at large is facing economic challenges, Mr. Speaker. And so, Mr. Speaker, it means that everywhere people must be willing to take cuts so that we actually prioritize the core issues or the important issues in the country. Mr. Speaker, the challenge that I have, Mr. Speaker, and I don't know how we will work at it, maybe it's something that the National Assembly needs to look at, is the issue of accountability of funds. Every year we come into this House and our governors fight for allocation of more funds. But Mr. Speaker, when it comes to accountability, there's always a challenge. And I wish that the level of accountability that is seen in CDF allocation would actually be reflected even in the counties, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, if I would give an example, if you look at the allocation that goes to NGCDF, and and you compare with, for instance, what goes on to our counties, and you find and you compare the number of classrooms before we go into dormitories and laboratories and buses and other things that people buy, and you look at what our governors are able to do, we must look at what the problem is. What is a problem that we cannot see the evidence of the amount of money that is allocated and what goes down? And if the governors are facing structural problems, they need to bring it to the House so that we look at how we are dealing with it. Otherwise, we will always blame the governors for ineptness and for inability to produce results. Because I would say that with the amount of money that NGCDF has, you'll find that where NGCDF has one class in one ward, for instance, it takes the counties another 10 wards before you see any other construction. And why is there such slow process? Devolution was actually initiated to ensure that we have accelerated growth, especially in areas that have hitherto been marginalized. And so, Mr. Speaker, it's very disappointing that every year we come in and we seek to enhance that allocation. Mr. Speaker, I know that we are in political times, and I would want to encourage, it's very nice when you have robust discussions here. And so it's very nice when we challenge Honorable Senator Sifuna. And the more we do it, the more you give him more profile. So if you want to give him more profile, continue mentioning his name. Mr. Speaker, I know because I always mention people favorably. People always wonder, some people tell me I sit on the fence, which I don't mind because I sit with my buttocks, I don't borrow anybody's. But having said that, Mr. Speaker, my kind of politics is that I play a politics of praising the person I want. So I'll praise myself, I'll praise my candidate, but I'm not really too much given to trying to underrate people, calling them, I don't know, they lack intelligence. So even if it is Sifuna who did that, I think it is wrong. I actually went and asked the chairman what Sifuna said because I didn't hear. So if Sifuna did that, it is wrong. If Ichungwa is doing it, it is wrong. It is wrong for us to keep calling people names here. And especially when we're in a technological era when children are seeing this. In the past, I used to do that, but I've become born again, Mr. Speaker. I don't do such things anymore. We must remember that our young children are watching us, and we should stop calling people names. And especially, some of us who are lawyers, we take offense when you call a fellow lawyer as an idiot. I may be an idiot in economics, though I'm not overly an idiot. I got a principal pass in my A-levels in economics. But you probably may also be an idiot when it comes to matters of law. So let us be respectful of of other members. Let us disagree politically. So let Sifuna support his one term, you support 2 term. Me, Millie, I'll support my candidate in my own style and in my own way. I think a lot of us want us to say that if I say 1 term, that is when I'm not supporting the president. Or if I say 2 term, that's when I'm supporting the president. You are not the one who manufactures my mouth or my language on how I support. I support in the language, in the style, and the way I deem fit and I deem best. So I think what we want to do, sometimes we cause other people, to move away from us by our styles. Let us do or encourage styles that, are more inclusive. Some of us, if I go to my constituency, I can tell you that I see evidence of growth. I can see evidence of work that the president is doing. But don't tell me to say 2 terms. You say that one if you want. I don't use your style. I can go and tell Suba North people that there is Rusinga Ring Road. You, if you are a psychopath and you want to do that, go and do it yourself. I will not do it. I'm Millie Odhiambo Mabona, a.k.a. bad girl, a.k.a. Geza Geza. You don't teach me how to do my politics.
Kama rais ameniambia nimsaidie, sasa mimi nitafanya nini? Si rais amesema hii watoto wamalizwe, nitawamaliza. Niye gamaka.
I want to thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving this House direction, that it is actually wrong for us to be mentioning other people who are not here and calling them names, like regrettably my good friend Honorable Ichung'wah called Honorable Raila an urban terrorist. Mr. Speaker, if it weren't for your order, I could also have called Honorable Ruto national terrorist. But because of your order, I'm not calling him a national terrorist, Mr. Speaker. And finally, Mr. Speaker, I want to say that my good friend Honorable Ichung'wah must tell us whether he's also of the LGBTQ community because of his preoccupation with Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. That guy is a man, bwana. Don't be too preoccupied with Honorable Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta.
Order.
I'm a woman, bwana. Hey, ni kitu gani wewe?
Honorable Millie Odhiambo. Honorable Millie Odhiambo. Order. You cannot discuss the conduct of Honorable Ichung'wah without a substantive motion. So you're out of order on that. Order. Honorable Ichung'wah, if we desist, order. If we desist, order. Honorable Mbaya, when the chair is on its feet. Order. I mean, we want to have a situation in which everybody is heard in silence. Whether you don't like it, whether it's outrageous, whatever it is, unless it's absolutely out of the order, or the orderly running of the business of the House, just wait. When you get your moment, rebut. You know what I mean? You get your moment, you can then say the counter and give your counter argument. But if you keep on saying order, point of order, Millie. Can we have the next speaker, Honorable Kalasinga? Order. Are you on a point of order, Muhammad Ali? Is it absolutely necessary? Okay, proceed, Honorable Ichung'wah.
First, Honorable Speaker, let me thank you for protecting me, because the Honorable Millie was on the verge now of discussing me without a substantive motion. But more importantly, Honorable Speaker, it is important to point out, and maybe she was not listening to what I said, because if you listen to what I said at the beginning, I indicated when I mentioned about economic terrorism and urban banditry, I said what I have described elsewhere as economic banditry and economic terrorism, Honorable Speaker. Number two, Honorable Speaker, the Honorable Millie, as much as you have ruled her out of order, must then withdraw what she has said and apologize to the House. Because
my majority leader, you made your point.
Raila alikuja kwa hii serikali kwa sababu kulikuwako masukusuku. Masukusuku hapa na hapo, wale majenzi walikuwa wamesukuma serikali kwa kona, walikuwa karibu kutoa. Lakini tukaona kutoa serikali bila kura italeta vita kwa Kenya, kwa nchi yetu.